right, good people. What is up? It's Monday. Crazy week, as always, in the world of professional wrestling. I am your man, Cool McCain, half of this dynamic duo, ready to catch all up on what's going on and maybe give y'all little sprinkles of what may be happening in the world of professional wrestling. And I'm joined, as always, by the other half. It's the 40th time. So 40. My boy, the Playmaker. Playmaker, what up?
Damien, I hate you. Just know that. Damien, I hate you. Like you couldn't even, we ain't even started yet.
What we're gonna have to start doing to Damien is those comments is just earmarking them, come back to him because you know how Damien be doing.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna start though.
The show just starting you up.
he tried to jump the way he want to hear about. He want to hear about caked up and caked out. But we're not there yet, Damien. We're gonna get there.
Yeah, crisis. Could we get 5 minutes into the show first? Jeez. But I'm like good.
5 minutes.
I don't know about that guy over there to my left, but I'm good, you know.
I'm always
good on the money when I gotta talk basketball and Team USA.
I'm good when I ain't good, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just put it like that. But yeah, man. So we're gonna get into things for the evening like we always do. We're gonna start off, of course, TNA. So TNA, you may or may not know, has this event coming up, right? So we're gonna definitely dig into that, and that's called Slammiversary. It's like their version of WrestleMania. So yeah, we're gonna dig into it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna start right now. All right, so I'm gonna tell you the matches. We're gonna do some picks on them real quick, and that's what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we're gonna start at the bottom of the card. The Knockouts World Tag Team Championship match. That is the champions, Alicia. And that's Masha Slamovich and Alicia Edwards, who is a part of the system, against Spitfire, who is Danny Luna, and Jody Threat, or Jody Threat. So, Playmaker, who you got winning?
I hate to be that guy.
Do you really?
For this match, I'm going against the system.
Okay. So you're going with Spitfire.
I'm going with Spitfire. You know, you hear the conviction in my voice, right?
Yeah. I'm going with Spitfire because with Masha Slamovich and Alicia Edwards, because the system gonna cheat to make sure that Alicia keeps her belt. But I ain't even going front. That happened. Next we got the TNA Digital Media Championship and the International Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. So both on the line. AJ Francis with Rich Swann versus PCO. So let me give people who may not understand, the International Heavyweight Wrestling Championship is a belt that AJ Francis just bought and started defending. That's the storyline. I think they just want to do something different than the Digital Media Championship because nobody cares about that. And introducing the International Heavyweight Wrestling Championship makes more sense. So I think they're just trying to find a way to have someone win them and then unite them and just have it called the International Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. Because it's really stupid. Always has been, but hopefully somebody's around there now saying that's stupid. So we got AJ Francis with PCO. I'm gonna go PCO this match.
I'm going flopped out. Oh, my bad, AJ Francis. Damn.
You going no fly zone?
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Fair enough. All right, and then we have TNA X Division Championship match. Mustafa Ali with Campaign Singh against Speedball Mike Bayley, who will have Trent Seven in his corner. So both guys will have quote unquote backup. I don't see a reason for Mustafa Ali to lose this match because they've been building him up as the X Division Champion since he arrived. I don't see a reason to make any changes to that.
Next.
And that means Playmaker agrees. All right, then we got the TNA Knockouts World Championship. Bunny match of the night for me. You got Jordan Grace, the Juggernaut, against Ash by Elegance with her personal concierge. You can have your personal concierge. You can have out. I don't see a way Ash by Elegance wins this match. They just needed somebody else to be fired for Jordan Grace, and Ash by Elegance asked for it, and you got it. I know Cole will be disappointed.
Damn you.
But I got it.
Damn you. You jumped in my head. Damn you. You knew I was gonna bring that up too. How long Jordan Grace had that third title?
It's been a minute. She beat Naomi.
Slammiversary, TNA's WrestleMania. I'm gonna go Ash by Elegance. The biggest event of them all. There gotta be a surprise somewhere for the biggest event in TNA. There gotta be a surprise somewhere. So I'm going on the limb here, and I'm saying the Juggernaut takes the L. I'm not saying how she's gonna take the L, but I'm just going out on a limb because when you have the biggest event of your company, you got to be a surprise somewhere. So
I'm lost for words with that, but hey.
That's all I'm saying is you have to have it's a surprise. A surprise is gonna happen Saturday. That's all I'm saying. I just don't know where. So I'm taking a chance. I'm not confident, but I'm taking a chance.
The surprise is gonna be PCO, in my opinion. All right. So we're gonna go to the World Championship 6-way elimination match. So I'm gonna do this a little differently, Playmaker, because it's 6 people, right? So let's pick 2 people that we think could win, right? Just because we know how these matches are, you got 4, 5, 6 people, right? So let's pick 2 people.
We got a 6-way, right?
The combatants. Yes, a 6-way. It's an elimination match. So
there's no rules.
1-on-1, then you get.
So there's no rules.
So yeah, so it's not like if Moose pin nickname if the match is over. No, nickname is just eliminated. You still go through until it's 2 people.
There is no rules to this match. It's my point.
Yeah.
This is anything goes.
Pretty much. So the participants are Moose, Steve Macklin, Josh Alexander, Frankie Kazarian, Nick Nemeth, and Joe Hendry. So for one of my 2, I'm gonna go with Moose.
You really went on a limb on that one.
You'd be surprised how much of a limb that is, sir.
Those who didn't catch that remark, you probably didn't watch last week's episode to understand what I just said. I'm with you. Moose is one of my choices. Actually, I got Moose actually winning the match because since there's no rules, and he's like the only one of the 6 that actually has a stable.
Well, you got to remember, there's 2 other guys that kind of been working together with some people to try to get their belt off.
No, you said kind of. I said actual stable.
Well, you got the Nemeth boys.
They want them get taken out already.
No, he's in the match.
Nick the other one.
Try to take him out, but he's there for the match. So he's gonna make it.
And Nick was gonna be my second choice anyway, so
okay.
Just in case.
My second choice is Joe Hendry.
I knew you was going there. I already knew it.
And I'll tell you why. It's for the same reason that my co-host picked Ash by Elegance in the last match. You have certain people that you can tell that they've invested a lot into. Whether you work with the character, you buy the character, you believe it or not, there's certain people they put a lot of time into. Right? And with everything happening with the crossover with NXT,
and which Joe Hendricks had a good debut on it. Well, not debut, but a good showing on this past NXT.
Right. So the only other person in my mind that makes sense would be Joe Hendry besides Moose, because of the crossover appeal. Josh Alexander is the best wrestler in this match. If this was a regular wrestling match, I don't think any of these guys could beat Josh Alexander unless they had outside help. But I don't believe, he, like Steve Macklin and Frankie Kazarian, don't have any friends or backup, right? Or anybody that will come out to help them. 6-man match, no rules, elimination match.
Of course.
It's gonna get
is damn, I forgot what they call them, but is Dango officially part of the system yet, or are we still working on that?
So JDC has not officially joined yet.
Yeah, I'm going with Moose. This is the moment where he officially makes himself a full member of the system. He's going to find a way to help Moose retain that title.
Or he sides with Joe Hendry and helps Moose and gets the belt off Moose. It's another option.
Do you believe?
And we can't say his name again because we said too many times. If we say it again, he's going to appear.
No, I don't think we're ready for the show to go through the roof yet. We haven't prepared for that yet.
Yeah, because if you say his name too many times, he'll appear. We don't want that. So
then show got said by the former champ of NXT. And next thing you know, guess who's there?
His song says it. Say his name and he appears. So hey.
As a matter of fact, he the one that got the pin. He got the pin too.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. All right, so we're gonna hop to the comments right quick and then take a commercial break. All right, so Daniel Berry says, "Yo, what up, Daniel?" Yolanda with the first chastisement of the night says, "Where y'all at?" And I can hear the tone behind that, Yolanda. I can hear it.
All I can tell you is, don't look at me.
It wasn't his fault. It was my fault. All right, Damien says, "What's up?" We're going to skip over Damien's other comment because that's what we're going to start doing when Damien be going out of a turn. We'll come back to it. We'll skip it for now.
Out of line.
Damien says, "I just got back on." And she says, "Y'all need to be on time." And I can hear the sisterly chastisement. And it is directed toward me because it's my fault. You are right. But it couldn't be helped. Let's just put it like that. But you are correct. Damien says, "I see Mustafa losing only because I think he is leaving to go to AEW after he showed up at Dynamite 2 weeks ago." Okay. Then he says,
"I don't know if that'd be a good move for him, but
hey, I mean, I just say like anything's possible, right?"
I'm just saying I don't think that's a good move if he does. That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't make the move, but anything's possible. Damien also says the prize is going to be Wesley.
That's an interesting point because of what took place on NXT. That's a very interesting point. The Rascals reunited on NXT. And they are doing a crossover with TNA. So, Damien, you could be right. You might be on to something there, sir.
You might. And then Damien also says Nick wins.
I don't feel good. Damien agreed with one of my picks.
I feel better they didn't agree with one of mine. So we have the same mindset. We're discussing that. All right, so good people, we're going to drop into that first break. We'll come back on, and we're going to give y'all some AEW. Let's go.
Get in the game at BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook. Over 50 sports, live betting, online casino, horse racing, esports, and more. Start now and enjoy easy deposits, fastest payouts, and the biggest bonuses. And for over 25 years, BetUS is a name you can trust. Mention TV 150 now and get up to 150% in bonuses. BetUS, we've got your game. Call or visit BetUS.com now to join.
All right, we are back. We only did one that time because I wanted to slide in Damien's comment here where he says, read between the lines. And also, the button was stuck. So, let's go.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Rams fans all around the world.
It's a beautiful thing to be a Rams fan right now. Stafford's back. We will see about Cup. And running back Kyren Williams to return.
Lend me your ears, or should I say lend Playmaker your ears, as he breaks down week by week everything in the Los Angeles Rams canon.
Number 99, Aaron Donald. Can't wait for 2029 to come to know that you are going in the Hall of Fame, and it should be first ballot, no questions asked.
Join the Playmaker as he breaks down everything Los Angeles Rams style in Ramily Talk on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts.
All right, good people. So we are back.
I'm happy you played that commercial.
So
exactly, I'm happy you played my commercial. Exactly 1 month from today, literally 1 month from today, guess what returns?
I'm gonna guess
Ramily Talk returns 1 month from today.
Y'all, the Eagles play the Rams this year, so you're gonna have fun
again, unfortunately. Well, at least I ain't got to deal with the Cowboys, so that's a plus.
That is true, because that's tough.
Man, I had to deal with the Cowboys 5 years in a row.
I have to deal with them every year.
Yeah, you have no choice. I'm sorry, you just have no choice in the matter.
So Damien says, hey, Bulls suck. That is true, but we have more championships than Nuggets and Clippers combined. Way to sound just like a Cowboys fan, Damien. Great job.
Where did it
talk about how he didn't even know what team he like, but we were just talking about Cowboys fans, right? How we don't know how to deal with it. And then Damien comes up here and acts just like one. Just like one. You know, all I can say to you, Damien, is Denver will win at least one more before Chicago has a possibility of getting out of the first round of the playoffs. So
Hey, you know the funny thing is the fact that Damien said that he don't even know what hat I got on. Cool knows what hat I got on because he can see the color of it and he knows.
Well, I know anyway. But the thing is, hey man, if he want to assume, let him assume.
I'm going to. I'm still trying to figure out where the hell the Clippers come from.
Pretty much. Hey, Damien.
All right.
Chicago Bears suck.
All right. All Elite Wrestling.
Just so you know.
I know y'all shut down the one who's starting this off, but yeah, I got some info. Can I tell you? I've been catching a little bit more AEW. What can I say?
Whenever playmakers start talking about AEW, I get a little giddy inside. Not Josh giddy, but giddy.
And the fact I had to watch him play, today. Great, just great. Yeah, All Elite Wrestling. So Daniel Bryan outlasted Hangman Adam Paige. So he gets the shot at Swerve Strickland at Wembley Stadium.
And he wins the Owen Hart Championship belt too.
Yep. So we have that,
but it's another story.
But we have that slated for All In.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get to the women's side a little later because that was the biggest takeaway.
Yes, we've got to do that last.
From All Elite Wrestling. That was the biggest takeaway.
It was masterful. In the words of my man Cole Johnson, it was masterful. Now,
this is where my co-host gets to have his shine because the bruv responded to MJF on Dynamite.
MJF likes to talk a lot of smack, right? But what AEW has done is they went out and got some guys who can go in the ring, but also can talk. So now MJF, when he comes out and he does his fiery promos and talks his talk and talk his trash and all that, guys are gonna respond. So he hasn't reached the precipice where he's gonna get in the proximity of my man Swerve yet. But that's gonna come. And when that does come, it's gonna be nice to watch. But for now, one of his obstacles that he may or may not overcome on his first shot is the bruv, Will Ospreay, who is doing a much better job of using bruv less, which I do like. I like bruv. I think it's great, but I think when you're there more, you got to kind of tone it down a little bit just so people not, tripping on it. But had a lot to say about MJF. For the sake of going into details, I just say an overview. Pretty much, he thinks MJ's a sucker, Punk A. There was no reason for him to turn on Daniel Garcia like that. And if he wanted a shot at the championship, all he had to do was ask. He didn't have to go through all the means. He could have just stepped up like a man and said, I want a shot. So MJF hops on the screen, says he wants a shot. Well, Ospreay says, say less. So we're going to be getting that match.
He ain't do it a little bit just because MJF was back to being the legit scumbag that we know him to be.
Well, I want to leave you something since I know you watch.
Hey. I'm not coming out there. These people don't deserve MJF. Oh, he's fully MJF that we know is fully back now.
I gotta say, man, I don't like this MJF as much.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like this MJF as much.
What changed?
He doesn't move the needle for me as much. I don't like good guy pandering to the crowd MJF. I like tweener MJF. I don't like full heel MJF. He doesn't move the needle as much because there's only certain things. Like when you take a guy that to me is as talented as MJF, you say you're going to be a heel or you're going to be a face. You're taking out the ability to do certain things, right? So as a heel scumbag MJF, he's got to cheat. He's got to do all those things. So he can't go out and have a one-on-one match and just win off his own merit. Tweener MJF that still pisses off the crowd some, but still will do some tweener things. He can win, however, right? Anywhere in the spectrum. Scumbag MJF has a cheat. So after so long, everyone else will see what I see already. You'll get tired of the same shtick over and over and over and over again. And because you painted him into this heel corner, you're going to have that for a while. what made MJF so great for a lot of people was the change in character. Not necessarily going from bad to good, but just the change in the character. Just not the same old thing every week. We're back to the same old thing every week. We'll see how long the people get behind it. Everybody loves it now because you haven't seen it for a while. 2 or 3 months from now, we'll see how y'all feel about it.
Well, Damien says he felt it's too early for the turn. I think they did that because we don't know when Adam Cole is actually coming back.
Adam Cole's always hurt.
So, yeah, it's one of those situations where you had a good one planned and one of the parties injured, and then you'd have no idea when that party's coming back. Speaking of that party, somebody was wanting a fight on Dynamite. And all of a sudden, which is very strange because I have never seen this I never seen this superstar act this way, even when she was in WWE. She never ran from a fight, but she ran from Brent Breaker. I feel some type of way.
Let the people know who you're talking about. So I saved that just for you. I didn't need to put that on the list because I knew you was going to talk about that.
Mercedes Moné. As long as I watch you from your NXT days, your WWE days, and what I heard about you in your New Japan days, you have never ran from a fight. So why is you running from Brent Breaker? Even when you was a heel in WWE and NXT, you still didn't run from a fight. You were still ready to throw them hands. But now you get to AEW and Brent Breaker want to taste of you and you want to run. You want to scurry off like you Liv Morgan all of a sudden.
Foreshadowing people.
What is this? This is not the woman that I grew up looking at. Well, I can't wait to say growing up because
you got like Twitter. That was the case.
You know what? When all that gets here and that TBS title on the line, I'm picking Brent Breaker to win that darn title.
I think for Tony Khan, the worse you make the champion look, the better are the possibilities of them winning.
Pretty much the old WWE style.
By crook and hook, but winning. She'll be an elite by then.
Well, Damien, everybody's running from that woman. Good, bad, and different.
Yeah, Damien tries to throw the Sasha did run from Oscar that one time during the lockdown. Lockdown Oscar was crazy though. Like
everybody ran from her. And then he does the same thing.
We'll talk about that later. What up, AP? We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, you know, told you. I caught me some AEW this past week. That's how I know this stuff. I'm very disappointed in Mercedes Moné. I thought she was still going to be the one we can fight whenever and however. You don't run from Brent Breaker. But to Marco's point, Tony Khan might be making a very big mistake here.
He's got to make her look bad if he's going to let her win.
That too, but I'm saying is you have to give to your number one signee something in her return. Just throwing that out there. And speaking of giving, no. Before I get to that, news did come down. I didn't see it. I'm pretty sure my co-host saw it, but the trios were stripped of their titles because the leader of the pack is injured.
Bang. So they lost the Unified Trios Championships. They're gonna have a match to determine the new champions. They're gonna let them. So this is what I think is dumb, right? This is completely dumb. They're gonna allow them to compete in the match with Juice Robinson instead of Jay White, but they wouldn't let them keep the belts and just have Juice Robinson step in Freebird rules. I think they should have just did the Freebird rules because they have a third guy and let him step in and let them keep the belts because, I mean, it's the trios belts. Like, if there was only 3 of them, like if this was the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass and he got not get because there's not like a person that's really like in that group that could step up and, you know what I'm saying, take the place. There's trio championships. Juice Robinson is there. You can just have Juice Robinson be the guy that's with them. It doesn't really need to do all this, but they're going to be in a match to determine the new champions, but they just don't get to keep a chance. It's silly, but
like so now, Tony, can you back yourself in the corner? Because guess what? They can't win those titles. Because if you have to win them titles back, it was pointless to begin with.
And then the thing too is, all these champions that you used to let be champion while they was out hurt, and then when they came back, there was an interim champion in place of them. And then when they came back, they got the championships back. Now you're going a different direction. That was one of the things that made it cool because you had an interim champion if somebody was out hurt, and then that champion came back, and then they had the, like, you got the belt, they got the belt, y'all got to fight for it. You know what I'm saying? But in this case, you didn't have to do that because you had another member of the group. Just let them keep on with the belts. But when you are a prognosticator of powerful powders, this type of thing that you do.
Now, let me give Tony kind of credit to go to when I was finna go to, but I remember about the Bang Bang game.
Before you go there, can I go 2 other places real quick? So I know where you want to go.
Oh, I'm going. I gotta go there. That's the talk of the whole AEW week.
So before we get there, Team AEW has its first official member.
Very interesting, by the way.
Yes.
How this came about, which I want to know how it came about because he just announced it with no rhyme or reason behind it. So
if you remember when he first won the belt, and everyone whined and complained because he had a match on Dynamite instead of coming out, had a celebration. He had the celebration on Collision to try to get people to watch Collision because it sucks. In that promo, which I did watch because it was Swerve and he was going to talk, he talked about how much he hated the Elite and he wanted them gone from AEW. And he hates Jack Perry. So he hates that whole group. And then, of course, now they got Heyman Page with him, who he also hates. So it's a group full of people that he doesn't like. So,
by the way, the Heyman Page thing was the result of him losing to Daniel Bryan, by the way.
Yeah. Yes. So he lost to Daniel Bryan, got mad, and ended up saying, yeah, I'll be your 5th person for Blood and Guts. So Swerve, it makes perfect sense, actually, for him to do that. And this means that there's a pay-per-view where he doesn't have to do what?
Defend the title. Then again, we is talking about the Elite, and they do weird stuff. So
Tony ain't gonna let him do that. So you gotta realize these 5 guys that end up being on Team AEW, all the stuff that the Elite do, it's not gonna affect them because storyline wise, Tony and his lackey gonna be backing them to make sure they good. You feel me? But yeah, so I think that was big that he was the first member. Couple of reasons. He doesn't like any of those guys, so that makes sense. And number 2, you get your champion on Team AEW. So you got your theoretical locker room leader on Team AEW. That's
which is funny because the Elite tried to recruit Swerve.
Yep. So I think that's a big first person. That's a big reveal for number 1. All right. So also the Bastard Pack. And that's his actual name. I'm not adding anything.
When did he add that part to it?
He's been there since he's been at AEW. Earned a shot at the International Championship, winning a 4-way match. So we have a future shot at the International Championship as well. Mm-hmm. And Samoa Joe was beaten down and written off TV, being ran through a wall.
Which I did not enjoy that.
I don't ever enjoy when I do those things.
They didn't look right. They didn't look right at all.
They're not good at that sort of thing yet. They should have did like dropping some pallets on him or pushing him off something. They're not good at that level of like cinematic storytelling at this point. Does that make sense?
Oh, and by the way, one thing got to mention about Will Ospreay, he did challenge somebody from the Elite too. So I might be actually looking forward to that match. between him and Okada.
Mm-hmm.
2 champions sharing the ring together. Should be interesting. That makes me back the question, well, will Ospreay join Team AEW?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to throw out there. But the talk of AEW is how AEW went off the air. Because if you notice, we already gave you the men's winner of the Owen Hart Tournament. We didn't give you the women's because the women's main evented AEW Dynamite. Willow Nightingale versus Mariah May. In a fun, straight up, one-on-one fight. Mariah, for the most part, Mariah May came out victorious. Toni Storm's happy. Mariah's happy. It's going to be a friends battle for the AEW Women's Championship at Wembley Stadium. Almost want to bring it to you, right? Until Mariah May showed her true colors. Timeless Toni was no longer timeless. She was bloody Toni Storm.
Well, blood was on her face.
She was bloody Toni Storm. Mariah May beat her. And not only she beat her, she used the championship belt. She used Toni Storm's on heel on Toni Storm. I think that is the first time in a while that I actually heard the crowd go completely silent. I don't think they understood what was happening.
They did not.
Even when MJF did what he did to Dan Garcia, they were mad. The crowd was mad. Even Tony, you heard Tony's about it. You heard we all know what he called MJF, but we can't repeat it on here. FCC always. But when Mariah and they did the Toni Storm, nobody on the commentary even spoke. Because they couldn't process what was happening.
This is very factual information.
We went from hugging and kissing and trying to keep Toni Storm. I forgot my girl name just that fast. From New Japan all together. Y'all had y'all fight. Now we can all be friends, which they all 3 walked out together. And just 2 weeks later, Mariah May gave Toni Storm a beating that she would never forget.
And if you notice, when she hit her at the end, Yolanda alludes to this with the watch for the shoe. And while we at the comments, we got to shout out the man, Wise. What up, Wise? Always appreciate you tuning in, big dog.
So, sir, Toni Storm, in my opinion, from watching Busted Open alone, I must agree with Tommy Dreamer and Dave LaGreca. I don't want to see Timeless no more. I need to see a Toni Storm that says, you know what? You broke my heart. And for that, I gotta whoop you know what now. This can't be a regular match no more. When I say regular match, I don't mean don't need to be no stipulated, but this need to be one of those matches like, okay, this is personal. Forget the title. This is personal.
Yeah, it definitely needs to have that. I don't think you get away from the Timeless character, but I think this is a time for the Timeless character to evolve into a more vicious version of the Timeless character. One of the things when I listen to like former wrestlers, former bookers, and stuff like that, they're quick to be like, "Oh, because this happened, so we don't need that character no more." It's like, bro, you don't necessarily have to do completely.
No, they're not. They're not saying get rid of it, but they're saying for this right here, we need to see a different Toni because this is personal now.
Right, but you can't. But here's the thing: in AEW, let's think about what we're talking about. In AEW, you're not gonna get like Toni Storm come out one week and she ready to go and she ready to whoop everybody's ass, and you know what I'm saying? And then she going back to Thomas next week. If the change happens, it's permanent. So you got to understand that first. They don't do the 1 week you can do this and then you go back to being yourself. When your character changes, it changes, right? So they're not going to get rid of the Timeless character, but I would like to see, again, a little bit more of an edge. I still want to see Timeless Toni Storm black and white. That's cool. But I need more of an edgier version now. You know what I'm saying? And allow that to continue after this match. So just like, make it a little bit more aggressive. Maybe she adds some of her more aggressive moves from when she was in her WWE incarnation. You know what I'm saying? When she's a little bit more of an aggressive wrestler. Maybe add some of those things in. But don't change the character, because the change would make people less interested in AEW, because that's the main focus of AEW. That Swerve and Will Ospreay.
I can go with edgier. I'm just saying I need to see a more serious one now.
Yeah, you should get a little bit of a serious one. But if you notice at the end, Mariah May still did the tits out before she took she still did the backup tits out before she slammed her in the head with the heel.
Whew. That was a beating.
Damien says, bring back Punk Rock Toni Storm. That's not. That was the least interesting version of Toni Storm.
Nah, we're gonna keep that in the archive of WWE. So, all right, we're gonna take a break because AEW was interesting, but WWE went to another level.
Yep. So right before we do that, a couple more quick comments here. Daniel says, you know what's more sad? Willow got a bigger pop in CMLL Willow Nightingale than Mercedes did when she showed up, which is very true. And then he also says, watching Samoa Joe go through the wall brought back memories when Brock threw Matt Hardy through a wall. They were about as weird and uncomfortable looking as each other. So that's a fair point. All right, good people. As my co-host has stated, it's time to get to it. So let's do it.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets. Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on YouTube and where you can find podcasts. Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. We got you covered. BS Street Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
All right. We are back in the building, and I know there's one gentleman who is hyped.
here's the thing. Normally we like to do the Raw and the SmackDown. I don't know if I can go on this one. Because Raw has something that popped off at the end. And SmackDown has something that popped off at the end.
And we got in the ship, so however we want to make it move, that's how it moves.
So, all right. So, I have to think. Okay. CM Punk opened up Monday Night Raw, if I remember correctly. And him and Seth, he asked for Adam Pearce to lift the suspension of one Drew McIntyre. Okay, because I think CM Punk says about that time, which sounds like CM Punk is finna be cleared by all intents and purposes of how this storyline is progressing. And we're gonna be seeing a CM Punk sighting at Cleveland, Ohio. And Adam Pearce said, "All right, I will do it, but CM Punk, you cannot show up in Dayton, which is tonight, on Monday Night Raw." So, currently, as speaking, CM Punk should not be nowhere in Ohio right now. Okay, which is not very far from Chicago anyway. So, but we being completely honest. We should see Drew McIntyre tonight. He's gonna talk to Adam Pearce, and we're gonna see how this comes about. Okay, that should be good. All right. But before we get there, Seth Rollins still feel some type of way towards CM Punk, and we understand why.
Sweet.
CM Punk was supposed to apologize. But the fact that CM Punk is who he is, you're not going to get a clear-cut apology from him.
No, you're not.
So, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Seth Rollins and CM Punk. I have a feeling Seth Rollins is going to get his receipt. Okay? But we'll see on that. Sir, I know this is something that you have thoughts on. Because if I know you like I know you have thoughts on this. A woman returned and gave a beatdown with two of her now new associates. I think that's the proper word to use. Those who don't know who I'm talking about, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark sent a message alongside Sonya Deville. Go ahead, sir.
About mother clicks in time, they did something with all three of these women. Because the only one with a personality is Sonya Deville. So yes, putting her with those two ladies was great because this is a legitimate group of women who should be able to run roughshod over the women's division of SmackDown because of their aggression and technical prowess. But the problem is they needed that person to bring them together.
You mean wrong, but I got you.
Yeah, sorry, Raw, yes. So what I love the most is the time, right? They didn't, when she first came back, they didn't do it. They kind of made it wait a little bit of time. And you kind of forgot if you weren't paying attention. You kind of forgot. All of a sudden, here come all three of them. This is the kind of thing that we need in on Raw. Because there's another person who's returned that we're going to talk about in a few minutes. So it's going to take a few people to beat her. So these two things, when you look at them, once you see everything, it's kind of like, okay. At least for me. I like it.
So, we're going to bring up something that I started talking about weeks ago. Because the Wyatt Sick6 did show up again. And they dropped the package off in front of Pat McAfee. The reason why I'm bringing this up again, because guess what happened on Pat McAfee's show today that returned? The same box appeared in the Thunderdome. with a VS tape inside of it. So, just to reiterate what my co-host said, I'm allowing to retell you what he thinks this is about, because it is, to me, confirmed that the Wyatt is using Pat McAfee for something. So go ahead, coach.
I just think it's smart storytelling, right? It's a way to cross over things. Like, I know we look at the story as wrestling fans, we want to really like dig into the story and like, yeah. But sometimes you gotta look at the bigger picture. Them dropping off boxes in the Thunderdome, them messing with his electricity, them so-called over the weekend messing with the Taylor Swift concert, right? Those are the type of things that make other groups of people looking like, well, who are these people? Right? What are they doing? Like, what makes this so interesting? But you have to go outside of that hardcore core group of just wrestling fans. If you're watching this show, you're probably a pretty hardcore wrestling fan. You may not be, like crazed or at that point where it's like if such doesn't happen, like your world crumbles, but you're pretty serious about watching wrestling. Like you like professional wrestling, you like the storylines and stuff, but hopefully you can see like outside of the lines or outside of the ropes, and you can kind of understand like this helps WWE as a whole get more people watching, but this also helps this Wyatt Sick6 faction as they're introducing them the way they're introducing them, get more people to be looking at them, being interested in maybe buying paraphernalia, t-shirts and stuff like that, which at the end of the day, for WWE, that's the whole reason.
And the reason why I brought it up this way, because after Adam Pearce had a handle, in which he had to handle a lot of business on last week's Monday Night Raw, he goes to his office, and co-host, who is sitting in his office waiting for him?
Bo Dallas looking very, very conflicted.
So I wonder if part of that sit-down conversation with Adam Pearce is on that tape that we're going to see tonight, that Pat McAfee has to transport to Dayton, Ohio himself. This is getting very interesting here.
And so now I like that.
So Pat McAfee has to take the tape that's in Indiana and take it all the way to Dayton, Ohio. Instead of being dropped off right at the announcer table like they've been doing. Pat Williams was like, can somebody let the Rices know that I am a friend of theirs and I'm appreciative of the attention, but y'all can do this to Michael Cole, all right? Not me.
That's not how it works, Pat.
Y'all can do this to Michael Cole, not me. I'm good on this side.
It's not how it works, bud. But I hear you, but it's not how it works, bud.
Pat McAfee's like, I don't want no parts of this at all.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. I wouldn't want no parts about Pat either, but hey, it is what it is, Pat.
Oh man, that was something else, boy.
Yes, it was.
And then last week, my co-host expressed how he was displeased about how a certain Intercontinental Championship match went because it was a clean finish. He didn't care who won. He didn't want to see nothing clean. He wanted, So then
you can't beat an unstoppable force clean and then expect people to continue to be, oh, he's an unstoppable force. You destroyed his momentum.
The Intercontinental Champion did his promo, and then the defeated challenger came out. And Sammy knew what was coming. He knew something was coming. He just didn't know in what form or fashion it was going to come. And it came in the form of a I guess I got to say this every week. The way that Braun Breaker moves is ridiculous.
See what pisses me off. We gonna go ahead. We ain't gonna use the nice. What pisses me off is you got this guy that you're clearly trying to build into a megastar, right? And I'm all for it. He doesn't have to take clean beatdowns just so other guys can feel happy. Like I'm just gonna put it out there. He doesn't have to. That doesn't have to happen. It's okay for him to go in and lose by like he gets outsmarted by Sami Zayn or something like that. I can live with that, right?
Like a roll up finish work do for
like
you?
a roll up, or like he's going for a spear and Sammy gets out of the way, he hits the post and Sammy grabs him, puts him in his move real quick, something like that. Something where you like, all right, it was a bad decision. He was a little too, just a little too antsy and got himself caught up. I can live with those. But if you're telling me that you're building up Braun Breaker, but he loses clean to Sami Zayn, when I see Braun Breaker walk to the ring now, I think this dude lost to Sami Zayn clean. It just diminishes his sparkle in my mind. What he did on Raw was good. I liked it, but it didn't take away the fact that Sami Zayn pinned him cleanly.
Why he ain't playing football? The way he bit around there, jeez.
It takes a little bit more than just the physical talent for football.
Yeah, it do. I'm just saying. Could you imagine him coming around the corner like a damn crisis? The way he hit that corner, good. He hit that corner clean.
If he come around that corner, he ain't by himself. Somebody else gonna be there to stop him too in football.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know the game. I'm just saying the way he came around that corner, good.
You were playing flag, twin tag. He did monster. He may not have a technique to get off the blocks. Is probably my guess. That would be.
And then Idiot Dragunov comes out there. He wants to fight Braun Breaker and Adam Pearce. Obliged. So this is a mess my co is not going to like, because you literally putting two guys that came up from NXT against each other, and somebody going to have to take an L.
That doesn't need to take an L.
Notice I said somebody got to take an L. And I ain't say a clean L. It can be somebody got to take an L, and he don't like the fact neither one of them have to take an L. It don't matter how the L is handed.
You bring these guys up, right? Okay, we know Braun Breaker's the guy you're building, but if you're going to bring Ilya Dragunov up, you can't go out and continually lose.
And continue getting destroyed by Braun Breaker, too. Anytime he's around Braun Breaker, he's getting destroyed.
So now what you're telling us is Sami Zayn can beat him clean, but Ilya Dragunov gets his hind parts destroyed every time he fights Braun Breaker. So Sami Zayn is quote unquote. This is what you're telling me. Sami Zayn is superstar level. Braun Breaker is mid card, and Ilya Dragunov is just there to get beat up. That's what you're telling me. But then you want to come 2 months from now and talk about the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov, and he's great and he's destroying people and blah blah blah. 2 months ago, he got beat down by the dude that lost to Sami Zayn. Clean. Come on now. Chad Gable didn't even lose to this dude clean.
Nope.
Braun Breaker does.
Nope, not clean at all.
That to me is trash booking. That's trash booking.
We have that going on, and I'm gonna round out Monday Night Raw this week. I really don't want to round it out this way, but since I've been on Raw for the longest, I might as well round it out. So Dominic got the victory he always wanted. He got the victory he always wanted. He finally beat his father, Rey Mysterio, in the middle of the ring. Don't care how it happened. The ref counted to 3. And what did they always say, co-host? The ref's decision stands.
Always found, especially in the Triple H era.
1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. And guess who is his tag team partner?
Pancake.
I would give her another nickname, but I'm going to try to be nice today.
You can give her another nickname you want. I'm just going to call it Pancake.
I'm going to try to be nice today.
All right.
Because if y'all haven't noticed, and my co-host finally got with the shock of me, I can't stand Liv Morgan. So, and this is why it's great to have Pat McAfee back on commentary. Because some extracurricular activities almost took place in the middle of the ring, if you get my drift here. And at this point in the situation, Dominic Lust overcame him because he finally beat his father. And the woman who made it all happen was his tag team partner. And something, I think a certain music hit. That goes by the line of, "This is my brutality."
And you heard a dun, dun, dun.
Darn that, you heard a arena full of people blow the roof off.
But I want to say, before we go any further, I want to say WWE told us that she was coming back tonight. They told us. You just didn't pay attention. The crowd did not pay attention, but I paid attention.
Oh, I paid attention.
I know you did, but I'm saying the crowd as a whole did not pay attention. Damian Priest said, "What's up?
Where you at?
Where you at? You on the way? Cool." All I need to
see this how that's the first part of him. Who is Damian Priest talking to? Then he gets around with Judgment Day. Hey, y'all seen Dom? No, he's getting ready for his match. All right. Well, got a surprise for y'all. Wait, what's a surprise? No worry. Dominic will find out. Then this is oh boy. This is where we're going. This was made it interesting to see how the main event went. It's like, oh, that roof came off of Canada. Because Rhea Ripley, MAMI has returned. And y'all remember what I said about Mercedes Moné and her scurrying off running from a fight from Brent Baker like I have never seen before? Liv did the exact same thing Monday night.
Liv got the fudge out of town. You hear me?
And was smiling about it too.
She was smiling.
See, y'all didn't see that because the raw part cut off. Well, see, that's when you go to social media, because social media gonna give you the extra stuff. Liv had a big grin on her face, like, yes, it's coming together. Like the whole master plan is coming together, which actually could be true, because if I'm really thinking clearly, it's really her, Finn, and JD is my thinking of the group that's the minds of the Judgment Day here. Right, Damian Priest is trying to keep everything together, but they don't know it's actually Finn and teaming up with Liv Morgan and all of this.
Is it really Damian Priest trying to keep everything together? This man basically put his spot in the team online. He's been on TV the whole time Liv been going, saying, "I don't need the Judgment Day, they need me." So is he really trying to keep it together?
Well, that's a good point, but you have to realize he's trying to establish himself as a champion.
I get that, but when you say those things, they're on the universe.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword. So we both saying it's a double. You saying one side of the sword, I'm saying the other side of the sword.
Mm-hmm.
But how when he talks to the team, especially when it comes to the whole Liv Morgan situation, like, are you going to end this? Like, you know, when Rhea gets back, this is not going to be good. You might want to go ahead and squash this now. And every time Don tries, he fails miserably, and to the point where Damian Priest said, "All right." Oh, and there's a camera shot in the back of Damian Priest. He's smiling too. He's like, "Yeah, Dom, you ain't want to do your part, so I had to do it for you. This is called consequences."
And the thing is, do any of us think it's going to take long for Mommy to get her championship back?
It shouldn't. I don't care. You know what? I'm not gonna go there. I don't care if she beat the brakes off Liv Morgan. That championship better be back on Mommy quick, fast, and in a hurry. God darn it. I know my code still can't believe how quick of a 180 I have done to Liv Morgan.
I can't believe you were there in the first place. They need to do a 180. That's what I can't believe. I'm not surprised by the 180. That's why I give you crap about it. I'm surprised that you had to do a 180. I'm like, why did he even need to do a 180? You know, it's just my interpretation of the situation. So,
hey, at one point, Liv was lovable. She just wanted her shot. That's all. Then she wanted to turn into be a you know what and do all types of slimy stuff now.
Hey man, you did not see that coming?
I didn't see it to that extent. I'll put it like that.
Okay, that's fair.
Not that extent.
Okay.
You don't go for You don't go for quote unquote another woman's man. You don't do that. And then the worst one out of all of them in the damn group. By the way, I don't think we talked about it, but the way that Liv and Don got caught in the locker room. I don't know about y'all. It is Finn and JD for me. The way that they beat their head around that wall.
For me, it's Carlito.
And Carlito ain't making no better.
Carlito come around there like, oh, that's cool.
But the way that JD and Finn put their head around that wall.
So let me do a quick backup. So we got Carlito, Finn, JD, and Liv basically on one side.
I don't know where Carlito's at. Carlito
because Damian Priest never really wanted him around, so he's gonna be with them.
Okay.
So the question is, where's Dirty Dom going?
I'm gonna give you the people's way, okay? The way that people look at Dom, they look at Dom like Eddie Guerrero. So if they go that route, he's standing with MAMI.
Okay.
Remember when Eddie messed up with China, and every week it was Eddie trying to make it up, in which he never turned on China, to be honest. So
he did when it comes time to get that belt. That's when he turned on him trying to get that belt.
So
the Intercontinental Championship, he turned on for that.
Now, that's Monday Night Raw. Let's get to SmackDown. I'm going to begin with LA Knight. LA Knight comes walking out of Nick Aldis' office. By the way, we don't have no idea what Nick Aldis was doing because no other superstar met Nick Aldis on Friday but LA Knight. LA Knight, he has a book in his hand. Anytime you see a superstar with a black book in the hand, you know what's in it. There's a contract. And there's a contract for United States Championship in Cleveland, Ohio, aka SummerSlam. Nick Aldis signed the contract. LA Knight signed the contract. We just need Logan Paul to sign it. And of course, if I know my co-host like I do, me and him have the same thinking, we're going to have to find a way to force Logan Paul to sign the contract.
He'll get his first opportunity on Friday. Logan Paul.
And he ain't going to sign it Friday.
He's not going to sign it Friday.
But you know what this tells me, though? I see LA Knight winning the United States title in Cleveland.
Yeah, I see him holding on for a while until he gets back sucked in with the bloodline and Jacob Fatu beats the living everything out of him and takes it.
So, looking forward to LA Knight and Logan Paul for the United States Championship in Cleveland when Logan Paul is officially forced to sign that contract.
Yeah, that'll be a fun match.
So we got that going on. This is where my co-host puts a big smile on his face because I put this spider on the silver platter from him. Tiffy Time went to come out and do her promo. Told all the champions of Bayley, Roxanne Perez, and Liv Morgan to watch your back because you never know when Tiffy Time's coming for you. Which is quite true because she has the Money in the Bank contract. And she did not cash it the same day she won it. Which is a refreshing for me. I don't know about him. But it's very refreshing for me that the woman's Money in the Bank winner has not cashed it.
Oh, the longest before they cashed in ever, huh?
And then, speaking of the women's champion, she comes walking out in Bayley. Her and Tiffy has a nice little back and forth until the queen shows up. I mean, I have to do it for her because she's actually the queen of the ring. So, but I will normally say that for somebody else, but since she is the queen of the ring, I must do her justice as well. So the queen shows up and they get into it back and forth with Bayley because who is Bayley's opponent at SummerSlam? The queen. And she said a line. Once I heard that line, I knew my co-host probably had a big old grin on his face, even though he disagreed with what she said. The fact that she even said it is the point.
Tell him what the line was.
So Bayley was letting her know she's not the hugger that Nia put on the shelf all those years ago. And I said, I understand. Yes, you're not the hugging Bayley that I put on the shelf. But what, you are a BBL Bayley now? I was like, she went. Not only she went there, she actually bent down and looked around. Like, I said, Nia Jax actually went there. I said, great. My co-host loved that line, and I have no choice but to talk about it. Go ahead. This is your moment.
I won't deny when she said it. First thing that happened in my mind was BBL, baby. BBL, baby. She thinking of a snicker. I'll stop there, but that's the first thing that went through my mind. And then, of course, that led me to some other women on SmackDown that were thicker than a snicker, like one Naomi, one Jade Cargill, and don't forget the other triple trio of chocolate deliciousness herself, Miss Montez Ford. But then I love the fact that Nia hit it like that. Like, that was perfect, right? I like the beat down, but I like the most. What I liked the most was when they walked out of the ring. Nia got out of the ring. Tiffy kind of hung around the ring and tried to sneak catch that briefcase.
Yeah, Nia had to put a halt to that. No. No. You don't worry about Bayley. You let me worry about Bayley. You focus on the other two.
So
which makes it actually interesting now, because now you put a little sliver of little salt in this little friendship here that is something where they're having a Nia Jax with Tiffy cash in on Nia now.
And that is now a possibility, which makes it all more interesting. Or even if Nia wins and she doesn't cash in there, will she cash in another time?
These are just questions that popped in my head. And before I get to the main part of the show, comments, because I've seen a whole bunch of them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know me. I was just waiting for the moment when the playmaker was through to a good point for that. All right. So I'm going to answer. So we're going to go back to Damien's first comment that we were holding and give him that, because that's what we do around here. So he said, justice for Bayley, BBL pop. I mean, cakes, laugh out loud. You silly for that one, Damien, but I do love it.
I mean, the crowd took it in too. Yes, they just took it in.
And then AP says, I'm looking more at Bayley every day. Man, then he got the surprise face and the hands. These are not bad ideas, sir. These are not bad ideas, gentlemen. All right, and then definitely got some comments here. So this one's going to be a quick answer. So Damien says, serious question. Sorry to bring up politics. With what happened over the weekend, do y'all think wrestling shows and sports in general have problems keeping the people safe? And will they have and then he continues, problem getting their events on time, trying to do things safe with no problems?
If that was the case, Damien, go back and look at what took place up in Scotland, France. Those took place at normal times. Fans didn't lose their mind.
No,
fans of wrestling understand order.
I'm gonna put it like this. I have my own feelings on the whole event as a whole, but factually speaking, security do their job. WWE security, the security of the places they attend, do their job. We've never had this at wrestling events. And the reason you don't is because you actually do go through everyone that gets inside. You have to go through metal detector. Same thing if you're at a basketball game or a football game or a baseball game. When you have these outdoor rallies, you don't necessarily, everyone doesn't have to go through a metal detector. So there's a difference.
I don't think he was just referring. I think he was referring to the what happened down in Miami.
Oh, what happened in Miami?
For Copa America Finals.
Oh, for Copa. Oh, yeah, we ain't gotta worry about it. Well, he said political, so that's what made me think he wasn't talking about the Copa.
No, I was saying he was talking about that too, and then he said this weekend in Copa America Finals,
yeah,
stole the headlines too.
Yeah, but I think I think it's a moot point because they do a better job of making sure they do the things they're supposed to do.
Yeah, and I say wrestling fans, they understand order.
Yeah. That's another true point. Then my man Wyatt says Bo Dallas has been possessed by Bray.
I'm looking forward to what that tape is going to show tonight. I know that much.
Damien says Jey Uso is probably glad Wyatt Sick is going after him, after Pat than him.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I still got that little word in the back of my head. They gonna get the Jey Uso at some point.
Damien says if WWE ever let their roster do UFC, my money would be on Bryan fights. My money would be on Montez Ford fights. Because I actually read something. I have to check and see if it's true that he may want to do some UFC fighting as well. I'm guessing he don't get nowhere in WWE. So he said, we'll go over here and fight some people. Damien also says Liv Morgan equals thin paint. Live and drive faster than Trump security, laugh out loud. Well, ran. I think he meant to say, ran. It's pretty fast.
When you see a woman like real Ripley walk the way that she walk, they say, your body has two options, flight or flight. You might want to flight real quickly.
That's always a flight. Damien says, I hate to say this, but I see Liv keeping the title till Bad Blood. It just depends on how long it takes for Rhea to get a rematch.
Yeah, because SummerSlam is not that far away. I don't know if they're gonna want to do it that quickly.
Yeah. Damien says, I wonder what Don's wife's reaction was when she saw Rhea show up. Yes, go get a man. That's what her reaction was. I joke, y'all. I joke. I kid. Damien says something about that segment was sus because how did Nick sign that contract when he wasn't at SmackDown? And then both. So the thing is, he was saying both, yeah. So the thing is with the Nick contract, we don't know if Nick was there or not. We know Chelsea Green Crazy Butt said he wasn't there. We don't know if he was actually there or not. You know what I'm saying? We don't know.
We don't.
And even if he wasn't there, he could have signed the contract and left it for LA Knight.
Because he has to sign the contract.
Yeah. So either way, I mean, being there or not being there to me ain't a big difference maker. I mean, storyline wise, I see what you're saying, Damien, but it's not a big difference maker to me.
As long as he signed that contract for that fact to be official, that's what matters. And you brought up a certain superstar as we get ready to close out earlier, and Jacob Fatu, who destroyed 3 guys by himself earlier in SmackDown. Actually, I want to say earlier. He destroyed 3 guys that led to the main event of SmackDown, which is the Bloodline in the ring, and yet again, Solo Sikoa called out a certain individual again, which is going to be so sweet when that music hits, whenever it does, when he makes his return. Because how many times you going to bring that man name up? At some point, that music going to hit, and that roof, wherever arena they in, the roof is going to blow up once that music hits. You keep calling the man out. Like, you keep calling your own cousin out. Your own cousin. Who laid the pathway for you. And yet again, he called out Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes being Cody Rhodes, which is part of the part that my co-host hates about Cody Rhodes. puts himself in a situation knowing what's going to happen.
I've never seen a man like to get beat down so bad. I really haven't. I've never seen a man like to get beat down so bad. It's like this man like, oh, there's a beat down going on. I'm not there. Hold on.
And he's like, I know what you want. I want it to. Who cares? Nick Aldis ain't here, but we'll find a way to make it official. Me and you at SummerSlam for the title. Great. We got it. But I don't want to wait for SummerSlam. Let's go tonight. Like Cody. It's like 4 of them in the ring. Really? It's 4 of them in the ring.
And not to mention, one of them just took out the tag team champions and half of the team that was fighting by himself.
And of course, a beat down the sewers. Randy Orton comes in for the save until it was not a save. Because that man by the name of Jacob Fatu is you see what they doing with Jacob Fatu? My closest want you to do the same thing with Brian Breaker. Jacob Fatu is later destroying everybody.
And Brian Breaker is losing to Sami Zayn, who looks like he.
Hold it. We gotta. Sorry, but we weren't a long time. They put Randy Orton through the announce table in a certain fashion, which is another call out to Roman Reigns. Why they put Cody Rhodes tied up in the ropes? And he's out there saying, take me, take me.
Stupid idiot.
You was distraught about this whole thing when it comes to Cody Rhodes.
Stupid. It makes no sense. This is not Cody Raheem Rhodes. Cody Raheem Rhodes will not act this way. I don't know who this guy is.
So, Randy Orton gets put through the table. Solo gives his opponent a Samoan spike. And they stand in front of Cody Rhodes with a laid out Randy Orton on the announce table. And that's how SmackDown ends.
And Cody didn't even act like he was really knocked out from the spike. You know what I'm saying? He didn't got beat down, stomped, and spiked, and then you just sitting there yelling. You supposed to be in the ropes like. That's why you don't get no acting roles, Cody. Stuff like that. Come on, right?
What a day. What a week of wrestling. What a week.
What a week.
Now, let's go get up out of here because Monday Night Raw is on, and I'm pretty sure some chaos is going to ensue very quickly.
Yes, sir. We're going to answer Damien's question very simply. Damien asked, what's your thoughts on Stephanie going to WWE and WWE letting wrestlers keep their name after they leave the company?
Oh, yeah, the big swerve. Pun intended, because this is like what she did. Everybody thought she was going to AEW. Nah, I'm going to WWE.
No. And they should have been letting them keep their names because that's how they really make money. Like if you cut somebody, you should let them have a name because they can use a name to still go out in independence and go to places and make money. So you should.
I say this: if she show up in NXT, perfect decision. And Roxanne, you might want to have your head over your shoulder because I can see that woman being a very, very opponent to knock you off the throne. I'm just going to say that. So go ahead and take us out of here, sir.
All right, good people. Just so you know, tell 4 people that love you and 4 people that may not like you so much. It's because they may not like you doesn't mean they won't like us. And as always, it's never where you start. It's always where you finish. Shout out to 502 Angel Radio. Shout out to us being live right now, listening also on Real Wise Radio. Shout out to Wise for having the squad be part of that. And if you listen on any platform other than Play Callers, make sure you go to YouTube, up in the type box at Real Play Callers. Go ahead and give us a like, a share, and a sub for the show and for the page. We'll holler at y'all next week. Bring y'all more scintillating, exciting wrestling content.